Hey there everyone, and welcome back to another one of our Disney Top 5 videos.
Episode 2 in our mini-series.
Sure, but
that's what I'm calling it.
As far as the ranking series, this is like video 6 or 7 or something.
Right.
So, where today we're going to be focusing on the top 5 must-do things in Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, spoiler alert, Epcot is, I think, our favorite park.
Yeah, I would totally agree. We spend the majority of our time in Epcot when we go to Disney.
Yeah, and we are looking forward to some of the stuff, and this list may change, so maybe if we get a chance to go back and some of the new stuff is open.
That's true, I didn't even think about that.
We can redo this list if necessary, because I know that the Ratatouille ride will be open soon, and hopefully Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and then France is also getting, with Ratatouille opening, some new restaurants, I think, too.
Right. So, we'll see. If we get a chance to experience those, we may have to come back and do an updated list and see what happens. So, but before we get into that, I'm Stuart.
And I'm Joelle.
And this is 2 Max Try. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah.
That's it.
That's
our social medias will show up probably above my head, so you can check out our Instagram or our Facebook or our website.
Yeah. So I don't think we need to delay any further.
Nope, let's get into this.
Let's jump right into this. So this is top 5 things we must do every time we go to Epcot. My number 5 is one that I think it's fairly new, at least within the last couple years. I think. You might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. Number 5 is the Beauty and the Beast sing-along.
Oh, yeah, it is new.
I thought so.
Newer.
I know it was there last year when we went those couple times, so...
But we went in January of 2020, and I think it was, like,
Impressions of France,
pretty new then.
Right.
Like, within months.
Yeah. So we didn't check it out the very first time we went, but we've been the last couple of times, and it's a fun show.
It's so cute.
It's a sing-along. I will say that I wish it were longer. Would be my only thing, but
that's not a bad problem to have.
No. But it's just an enjoyable show. It brings everybody together. I like the twist of the Beauty and the Beast story that
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
If you haven't had a chance to try that out, it's definitely something that the next time we go, we'll probably end up going to that.
Yeah, definitely.
So for me, Beauty and the Beast sing-along is number 5. All
right, my number 5 for Epcot is Journey into Imagination with Figment.
Okay.
We just did a top 5 rides a little bit ago, and I'm sure I'll have the playlist linked below. And that was in my top 5 rides in all 4 parks.
Right.
But I don't think with the other things to do in Epcot, it's that high up on my list of things to do at Epcot. But it is become kind of our tradition to ride it every time. So if we didn't get a chance to ride it,
2 or 3 times sometimes.
Well, yeah, it would be sad. So that's my number 5, and it's more for tradition, and it's cute.
Yeah.
But it's more like our tradition.
And we know the current version is controversial. Some people don't really care for the newer version, but we didn't know the old version, so...
We don't have anything to compare it to.
That's what we got. So we enjoy it. Yeah, so
that's my number 5.
It's a good choice. Number 4 is... I kind of grouped what happens in Epcot into one thing, and that's the festivals. Okay. We haven't done, which I think it just started, the Flower and Garden Festival.
If it didn't just start, it's starting very soon.
Right. I think I saw that it had started. They actually started early this year, but we've done the Food and Wine Festival. We've done the Festival of the Arts, and there's just so much neat stuff.
There's also a Christmas festival
that we've never done. But like the Festival of the Arts, they always have that giant mural that everyone can take part in painting. The chalk art that is usually there is really neat.
Yep.
Just looking at the different booths of the artists that may be there and seeing that type of stuff is always interesting to see. And sometimes they also have like musicians and stuff like that, which is really neat. And then when you talk about Food and Wine, that's just fun to try new foods and to experience different flavors from all over the world. So it's just, the festivals are just a great chance to...
Yeah, I think they really enhance what Epcot offers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And I think that if you don't plan your trip around the time that there's a festival. Like, there's almost always a festival.
Right.
I would never go when there wasn't a festival of some kind.
Yeah, which I think is usually the summer.
Yeah,
There's
I think
not
like
really
June,
a
July,
festival.
and August there's not usually, but we would never go in the summer because it's
No.
so hot.
No.
Yeah, and we don't we don't like the heat.
And yes, highest crowds and highest temperatures. So,
Yeah, uncomfortable.
and yeah, no.
All right, that was your number 4.
That was my number 4 was
Okay.
festivals.
My number 4, is to eat at the patisserie in France, at the Les Halles Boulangerie Patisserie. I'm not French.
French words.
French words is
We
to
do
eat.
stop there every single time.
We didn't go this past trip, but because we were so focused on eating at Food and Wine Festival, we were never eating a full meal anywhere, so we never went there. But
Typically, it's a breakfast spot when we go.
right, because
That's
it's
what
one of
we've
the
been
only
doing.
things that's open earlier in the day.
Yeah, because
Well, when the park was open earlier.
World Showcase doesn't open till 11.
Well, now Epcot doesn't open till 11
Right.
now.
But even when Epcot was open a couple hours earlier, the World Showcase, so all the booths weren't open
Yep.
until a little later in the day.
And
Yeah.
everything that we've ever had from there is delicious. Like, I don't think we've ever had anything that wasn't good.
No.
Yeah, so, and there's so many pastries to try, and that's like my weakness, my love. And so it's just, there's so much to try, and I would highly recommend anybody check it out at least once.
Yeah, they have good sandwiches. The desserts, I mean, they are what they are. I'm not a huge dessert fan, but I know Joelle's enjoyed any of the desserts that she's gotten from there.
Yeah, we've had the macaroon, the chocolate mousse, those little dome things. We had a couple of those. The creme brulee was good. Yeah, we've tried a bunch of stuff
Yeah,
from there.
so I agree that's a good one. That didn't make my list either.
That's okay.
Yeah, we do end up going there just about every single time, with the exception of this last time.
Right.
All right, number 3 for me was Journey into Imagination.
Oh, you had it higher.
I did have it higher.
Well, I just
I like this ride. I think it's short. There's never a long wait for it. I think the most we've ever waited for that ride is 15, maybe 20 minutes.
Right.
And you know, it's just a nice. If you've got time to fill, if you're waiting for a fast pass to Frozen or Soarin' or whatever you've got when they come back, when fast passes come back,
Right.
it's a nice filler ride. It's short, it's neat, it's got a catchy tune, and as we said, we don't have it to compare it to the first iteration of it, but we enjoy the ride, and for me it's a number 3, and it's a must-do every time we go.
It's higher. I didn't think it would be on that high on your list.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
my
there you
number
go.
3.
I'm full of surprises.
You are. You're full of surprises.
No, I'm not.
All right, my number 3 is the Beauty and the Beast sing-along.
Oh, okay.
I think I put it. I was surprised, not surprised it was on your list, but surprised it was that low on your list. I would put that as a much. Apparently, I really like the France Pavilion.
Yeah, apparently.
Because eat food, sing Beauty and the Beast. But Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite movies. And like you said, the twist that it takes on it is really cute. And so, yeah, it would definitely be on my must-do list every time we go to Epcot, and I would be sad to miss it. Why are you laughing at?
Well, I'm just thinking of what was it when he's making the dinner, and it's like pie and pudding and churros. What's a churro?
It's really cute.
Yeah, so, all right.
Number 2.
Number 2 for me is Soarin' Around the World. Just a really innovative and great ride. I don't know what else to say about it.
Let me spoil my number 2. My number 2 is Soarin' Around the World, so we can talk about it
Talk about
together.
it together. It's neat to see the technology that goes into it, from the footage that they've collected to just the feeling of gliding in a hang glider over all these like major landmarks.
Yeah,
and
it's so much fun.
the scents, I'm sure Joelle will talk about that.
I always do.
They blast into your face.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just a really neat experience to get onto Soarin', and it is definitely a must-do at least once, if not multiple
than
times,
once, yeah.
if you can do it.
Yeah, if you're at Epcot multiple days on your trip,
Just sit in the middle, if
well,
you can.
you can't really request
If you
spaces
can.
right now, but like if we go to Epcot more than once in the week that we're there, like it would be every time we go to Epcot, you got to do Soarin'.
Right.
But yeah, Soarin' is my number 2 as well, pretty much for all of the things Stuart mentioned. It was the first really innovative and new kind of ride we went on when we went there the first time, and it like blew my mind. It was like, boom. And so that is just
Even the bendy Eiffel Tower has some charm.
it does have some charm. And so that was yeah, definitely my favorite ride at Epcot, and definitely a must-do.
All right. Well, that brings us to
one.
the number one thing.
What is your number one?
That we must do at Epcot.
Okay.
Eat at Coral Reef. No, I'm just don't do that. All right.
It's his least favorite restaurant.
My number one favorite thing to do at Epcot is eating around the world showcase. Is that your number one?
My number one is to snack around the world, and I put in parentheses during the festival.
Yes, during festivals. There's
That's
always
so funny.
interesting things to try.
Yeah, and the fun thing about if you go during a festival when there's the booths is there's small portions.
Yep.
So especially when you're sharing, even just two people sharing, you can try multiple things.
Well, some of the portions are good size
right.
too. I think of the
paella,
which was a pretty good size.
And the mac
portion.
and cheese were also pretty good sized too.
And when you're going around World Showcase and you're paying anywhere from $6 to $9, like that is, and we were discussing before we started the video, we actually think we enjoy those foods more than any foods at
a sit-down
restaurant.
Yeah.
Just price-wise for one thing.
Well, yeah, when you eat around the world, say if you tried 10 $6 things, that'd be $60.
Right.
But with two people eating at a sit-down restaurant, you probably would spend more than $60.
You'd probably pay at least $60
maybe
per person.
$6 per person.
Right.
Yeah.
And even for like, in my mind, an Italian restaurant should never be super expensive. But even the pizza places and stuff like that, you're going to pay at least $40 or $50 per person.
Unless you're cautious. Like,
right. So just, something to be aware of for our experience is eating around the world is just, you have to do it. Like, you just got to try those
and if you
things.
don't, you're missing out on one of the best things of Epcot,
right.
I think. Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
So, for that reason, and you notice neither of us had any restaurants at.
No, we were trying to think of restaurants we've gone to at Epcot, and we haven't done many because we enjoy eating around the world so much.
Right.
And when you're snacking on something every little bit, you don't really need a meal, like a big meal.
Yeah, and as we've said, we've been to Coral Reef. I wouldn't go again. We've been to, I think it's a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, it's the sushi restaurant, though. That probably wasn't the best choice for us.
So,
we're not sushi.
And that was our first trip there. We went off of recommendations, and the food was fine.
Yes, yeah.
But it's
not
just
to our liking.
Eating around the world was definitely more interesting.
More fun, yep.
So,
any honorable mentions?
I think I shared mine first last time, so you go first this time.
All right, so honorable mentions were mostly rides. Living with the Land and Spaceship Earth.
Those are the exact two things that I have as honorable mentions.
Yeah, Living with the Land is really kind of like a tame, like it's not really a ride. It's kind of like an educational boat ride. But it's just so nice and calm, and you see like all the plants and the flowers, and you learn stuff.
And usually at least once during the ride, you hear someone come over the PA, please don't touch the plants! Because somebody can't keep their arms inside of the boat.
And then Spaceship Earth is just fun. When you get all the way to the top and you see like the curvature of like stars. I love that. And then when you go backwards, like you turn around to go back down and you have like that little, see what the future will look like. Right. And you have really bad pictures of yourself with like parts of you cut off. That's just funny.
I will say I'm a little disappointed and I know it's because of everything going on. They have put on hold the refurbishment of that ride.
Yeah, they were going to change it, yeah.
But it is what it is at this point.
I had two other things, and it was shopping. All right,
of course it was.
There's a store in the Japan Pavilion, Mitsukashi. It's like the one that has like everything in it. So I always love checking that one out, and we're big fans of trying different snacks, like around. So we always try and pick up something Japan to try. Right. From the Japan Pavilion shop.
China's got a similar shop that has Chinese snacks.
Right, and then the other thing, since we've become bigger tea drinkers, buying tea in the UK Pavilion is something that's fun to try too. And it's fun to bring home, and every time you have that tea, it's like a nice memory.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. So I think that is going to do it for our top 5 must-dos at Epcot.
Yeah, let us know what your must-do is at Epcot.
And, is there anything on our list that you would say absolutely not?
Right.
That needs to go. And even if you say that, we're going to do it anyway. But anyway, we thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch our videos, for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I think we're going to sign off now. And until next time, take care, and we'll see you then.
Bye.